Well, in news just in this morning, this is a developing story. There are reports Prince Harry and his family are planning to move their family back to the UK in just a matter of days.
Let's go live to Daily Mirror Associate Editor Russell Myers. Good morning to you, Russ. This is a huge development. Why are they making this move now?
Well, certainly is. Good morning, guys. Well, that begs the question, doesn't it? Why now? I mean, there are so many options available to Harry and Meghan. They've got a place in Europe, in Portugal. They've been loving life in California. They seem to have made a pretty happy lifestyle for themselves in Montecito. But we understand that they're going to be here in the UK in just a matter of days. They've enrolled Archie and Lilibet, their two children, in UK schools. They're going to be starting at the start of the new year in September. I mean, it's an extraordinary turn of events from Harry just saying just over a year ago that he didn't see a situation where he could bring his family to the UK safely. He has been arguing with the British government about his security. He obviously hasn't felt safe in the UK for quite some time. But losing that case, but still coming over just a couple of weeks ago for the one-year countdown for his Invictus Games next year, they managed to secure a meeting with the King. And I'm told that went pretty well. And you would wonder whether Harry and Meghan feel that this is the right moment to try and forge some reconciliation with the King and the rest of the family.
What about the non-working part of their title? They are non-working royals. Coming back to Britain, does that mean we're going to see them now at the flower shows, cutting ribbons? Do you think that there will be a move to bring them back into the family fold to work, or would they still remain hands-off?
No, I think let's take it, step by step. I think that for Harry and Meghan, we are certainly going to see them at engagements, film premieres. They're going to be showing up at charity events for part of their charity work that they've been doing whilst in the UK. Harry has still been visiting charities such as Well Child, which looks after terminally ill children. He's had an association with that charity for many, many years. He's due for their annual event in the UK in just a couple of weeks' time. But will there be this half-in, half-out model that they wanted 6 years ago? I'm told by people at the palace that the King is absolutely determined that will not change. And that certainly was the sticking point for Harry and Meghan when they wanted this brand new model to try and earn money in the corporate world, but keep their association with the royal family. And of course, that led to them leaving the institution and setting up life in the US. But, make no mistake, this is an absolutely huge moment for not only them, but their relationship with the rest of the family.
Yeah.
Hey, Russell, just going back to that point you made earlier as well, of course, Harry's gripe has long been the security arrangement in the United Kingdom. That hasn't really changed materially here. So why? Why would he be going back on that?
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, that has not changed. And certainly people I'd spoken to in the government were absolutely angered that Harry had not only announced that he was coming to the UK, but also with his family just a few weeks ago. And then 24 hours later that they had to completely change the schedule. Meghan and the children didn't come to London. Harry said that he didn't feel it was safe for them. And people in the government very much felt that Harry was trying to bounce them into a decision. He has lost a case at the High Court in London. He's lost it at the Court of Appeal. He then has written to the Home Secretary for a review. That review still hasn't taken place. So, it's still very, very much up in the air. Is this a precursor to trying to force the government's hands into getting that security? Or is it just simply that he wants his children to spend more time with their grandfather? I'm sure there are a multitude of reasons, and we're going to be finding out in the next few weeks and months, I'm sure.
Yeah, speaking of finding out, Ross, I'm just really interested to know, how does this information get disseminated? How do we know that they're coming back to England? Do their people talk to the royal correspondents? How do we know this is actually happening?
Well, certainly, what Harry and Meghan have done over the last few years is take umbrage with large sections of the British press.
Yes.
He's not been afraid of litigation, rather, with members of the media. But this, in turn, came out through several avenues. There were a couple of newspapers in the UK. There was a magazine, People magazine, in the US. I understand some colleagues in Australia were told as well. And this undoubtedly has come from Meghan and Harry's PR. They aren't kicking back on it. I mean, again, this whole sort of PR vehicle that Meghan and Harry are trying to sort of force through is very, very interesting because it hasn't really worked very, very smoothly in the past, referring to Harry saying that he was coming back with the family and then rowing back on it 24 hours later. I'm sure there's many, many twists and turns left in this story just yet.
It's only just begun.
And Russ, didn't the King just find out on Sunday as well? So this hasn't been in the works for a very long time. Maybe it has for them, but they've only gone public even with their family on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely extraordinary. Harry and Meghan were sat at Highgrove, the King's residence in the west of England, just a few weeks ago. And yet we understand that he didn't have cause to tell his own father that this was going to happen just a few weeks away. If the children are enrolled in schools, then that would have absolutely taken weeks, if not months of planning. Have Harry and Meghan been in the UK secretly to visit those schools? That would surely be a prerequisite of any sort of parent, but things do not run smoothly in the Sussex household a lot of the time. So is this going to happen as smoothly as it's been put out at the moment? As we said, I'm sure there's a lot more to develop in the next few days and weeks before they do arrive.
What do you think Prince William and Catherine's reaction is going to be to this news, and how will they play that publicly?
Well, I understand they found out at pretty much the same moment that the King did around the weekend. Listen, for the Prince and Princess of Wales, they have not had anything to do with Harry and Meghan for the last couple of years. They are moving in a very, very different direction. They are very much supporting the King in trying to cement his legacy. The King is feeling really well at the moment, I'm told. He's very determined to get out and about as much as possible. He's got a big autumn tour on the horizon as well. But for William and Kate, they are no doubt working towards their own future. Harry and Meghan haven't featured in that over the last couple of years, but they're going to be in their backyard in just a few weeks, so no doubt it will be affecting them.
Oh, that backyard's it's getting crowded.
It's getting very cramped.
Very crowded. Lovely, the cousins are maybe going to get to know each other. Russell Myers, live from London for us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Russ.
My pleasure. Thank you.